What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another stage 2 video. So today is going to be a different video. We're actually going to be rating the monsters and the hunters. Which one is best, which one isn't, like which ones are the best, which ones are the worst, what can be improved on the worst ones. You know, all that is going to be talked about in this video right here. So let's get started. So for the monsters, the best one without a doubt on the S tier is going to be Behemoth. Behemoth is obviously the strongest monster in the game. I mean, his damage output, his insane health bar is unmatched. It's literally what the description says right there. Right there in the description, it says a living fortress grants Behemoth passive damage. He is actually a living fortress. I mean, this guy is so tanky. He'll take so much damage, and he'll still dominate. I mean, that's how good he is. It's insane. I don't know. I would say Behemoth. Behemoth would need a nerf, but at the same time, I really don't want to see him get nerfed because he already is kind of nerfed in Legacy Evolve, in my opinion. So I would hate to see that happen to him in Stage 2. But for the other people that hate playing against Behemoth, he might need a nerf. But yeah. So for second monster, I would second monster, I would probably put Meteor Goliath or instead of regular Goliath, mostly because Meteor Goliath is a lot stronger than regular Goliath by a lot of means. First off, we're gonna go with his AoE. He has a really good damage over time on with his blue fire. He leaves a lot of damage behind when he shoots his fire. Even just by being near him, you'll take damage, I believe, just by being near him. And if he attacks, he leaves damage over time also. Like regular Goliath does not do that, which is why Meteor is stronger, and probably that's actually I believe that's the only reason why Meteor Goliath is stronger than regular Goliath. They both do the same attacks. They both do the same amount of damage. They have the same health bar. It's just Meteor Goliath has an AoE and regular Goliath does not. So that's I would put him there on I guess I would put him on the A tier, you know? I wouldn't put him on S tier because, I mean, here's the thing. I would put him on the S tier with Behemoth, but at the same time, if you have a really good squad, you can take down Meteor Goliath pretty easily. Meteor Goliath, it takes a lot of skill to not Meteor Goliath. With Behemoth, it takes a lot of skill to take him down. He's a big target, so you can deal a lot of damage to him, but the thing is that he just has a really good damage output. he deals a lot of damage. For Meteor Goliath, I guess I would put him on the A tier because he's manageable. I would say he's pretty manageable to take down. Now for the third best monster, I would say it's going between Kraken or Goliath. I don't know. I have no idea. You guys could tell me which one would you guys choose third best monster as, either Elder or Goliath? I'm not sure. They're both very strong. I guess Goliath, because when he's stage 3, I think he has a bigger health bar than Elder Kraken at stage 3. I'm gonna process this. So I did some thinking. You guys don't know, but I had the video paused so I could do some thinking. I think I would put Elder Kraken as third best monster, just slightly above Goliath, because Elder Kraken's lightning strike, his vortex, his banshee missile, I mean, they do a lot of damage. Like, they do a lot of damage. And Goliath, he is very strong as well, but I feel like you can hit him much The thing is, Elder, I believe, is a little bit faster in when it comes to over Goliath. At stage 1, he's definitely a lot faster than Goliath. However, I believe they're both the same speed when they stage up. However, Elder does do a little bit more damage than Goliath. I could be wrong. You guys could let me know what you guys think in the comments below. But I do think that Elder is slightly stronger. So for 4th best monster, it's gonna be Goliath. Definitely putting him in there. 5th best monster is Wraith. I would say Wraith is very, very strong, but she has a very tiny health bar, so it's very easy to kill her. If you're not doing any damage as Wraith, you're gonna die pretty quickly. That's all I have to say. You will die fast. Same goes for Gorgon. So Gorgon will be, let's see. Gorgon would be the 6th best monster right after Wraith, because she also has a very tiny health bar, but Wraith just does more damage than Gorgon. Wraith has the Wharf Blast, she has the Phantom, she has the Supernova that can all help her out very, very nicely. Gorgon, only, in my opinion, she only has the Web Snare and the Acid Spit. And I'm not going to say Spider Trap, because the Spider Trap can easily be just killed in stage 2, while in Legacy it actually takes a lot longer to kill the Spider Trap, but in stage 2 it's pretty easy to kill. And the Mimic is almost useless in this game. I use it just for fun sometimes, but it's actually pretty useless in my opinion. It does no damage, and the radius is very, very, very low. So yeah, Gorgon, 6th best monster right after Wraith. And I would do Glacial Behemoth over Kraken. Yeah. Glacial will be the 7th best monster. He's, without a doubt, I'm gonna choose Glacial over Kraken, and I'll get to the reasons why. Glacial is just better than Kraken. He has a low damage output, but the thing is, he doesn't really do on upfront damage. He's more of an AoE type of monster like Goliath, except that Goliath can do damage up close and over time, while Glacial Behemoth does more damage over time because his Monolith does the damage for him. Is it Killing Frost? Yeah. His Killing Frost does or I'm just gonna say bomb, lava bomb, or ice bomb, similar to lava bomb. It does mostly the damage for him. Same goes for the Deep Freeze and Ice Spear. All those do damage for him. He's more of an AoE monster. He doesn't do the melees too much. I mean, he could, but you're gonna see more of a damage boost with his abilities rather than his melee. And for some buffs on him, definitely increase the damage output. Definitely would increase damage output. Maybe not on the abilities. Maybe some people would not agree on that, but I would definitely do it on his melee. His melee could use a boost in damage. Some people may not agree with that. They may like that where he's at right now, and I don't mind if he stays where he's at right now, but I believe he could use a damage boost in his melee. Like, he just I don't think he does enough damage when hitting the hunters, Only his abilities do the damage, and that's kind of maybe that was intended by the developers. That might have been intended, but we'll never know. And last but not least, Kraken. Oh man, I got a lot to say about Kraken right now. Let's see. Let's go over the first one. There's many issues and many reasons why. There's many reasons why Kraken is at the bottom of the list. He's the absolute worst monster in Stage 2. He used to be very, very good, but here's the thing. He was very, very good, and he was always being used before the servers came up. And then all of a sudden when when the servers came up, I was still playing as him and I was still having fun playing as Kraken. I don't know what happened. Like over time, as the months went by before the store came up, something just, I don't know what happened to Kraken, but his abilities just don't register anymore. And I'm not talking about the Vortex or Aftershock or Banshee Mines. Those are fine. I'm talking about his Lightning Strike. As the months went by after the servers came up, I noticed in one match when I was playing as Kraken that my Lightning Strike did not register. And it confused me because it landed right on top of the Hunter. And ever since then, up until now to this video, he has not been fixed. And I obviously we know why he hasn't been fixed. The developers aren't working on the game anymore. But his Lightning Strike just doesn't register anymore. Even before the servers came up, and even before, like at least 2 months after the servers were up, he was perfectly fine. There was nothing wrong with him, and then all of a sudden his Lightning Strike just doesn't register damage anymore. I don't know what's going on with that. I have so many streams of Kraken playing as Kraken, and I would shoot a Lightning Strike directly on top of somebody and it just wouldn't damage them at all. It just would not damage them. I have no idea why. I don't know if it's ping, if it's related to ping, but it's just odd, you know? Because like I would land a Lightning Strike directly on top of somebody and then they would dodge right afterwards. Like a second or 2 seconds after. Maybe even longer. It's very weird. And look at that, they even have his difficulty as challenging. I completely agree with that. His difficulty is very challenging. At least now it is. And the funny part is that he's one of the best monsters in Legacy Evolve. In Legacy Evolve, he's actually really overpowered. I don't know what they did to him in Stage 2. He got a major nerf, man. His damage output is extremely low. His Lightning Strike now no longer hits targets. He is the last... You don't see me playing as him that much anymore during my live streams or videos. I'm still going to be doing videos on him, but it likely won't be with players because you just won't see me get a win with him playing against players. He's just that bad. Some buffs that I would like to see: damage output for sure. I would like to see his Lightning Strike get fixed, but that likely won't happen because there's nobody working on the game. So yeah. That's gonna be my list for the monsters. To recap, Behemoth is at the top. He's the S tier. I would put Meteor Goliath A tier, second best monster. Elder Kraken, third best monster. Fourth best monster would be Goliath. Fifth best monster, Wraith. 6, Gorgon. 7, Glacial Behemoth. And 8th, Kraken. Now, moving on to the hunters. Let's start with assault. So for assault, let's see. I'm currently in debate with Torvald and Blitz Markov. I don't know which one is better. I do like Parnell actually as well. But sometimes he's inconsistent. Like one match you'll do a crap ton of damage, and then the next match you don't see that much of a boost in damage at all, even with Super Soldier. It's strange. But I'm gonna think this over. So I started thinking I would put Blitz Markov as the best assault. Now, nobody has to agree with me on this one. Nobody. You guys can basically make your own. This is kind of like my tier list, but Blitz Markov's mines, his Tesla mines, their damage on those mines when they're fully charged is unmatched, uncomparable. And his Tesla gun is very, very, very good as well. I would put him up on the top. I wouldn't put him in S tier because he's not like the best. He's just, out of all these assaults, I would put him as the best one, but he's definitely not like that good. He's not that good to be put in S tier. I would put him in A tier because he's better than the rest, but he's not the best like hunter, like the best assault. Like, he could be better. I just don't think he's that good to be in S tier. He's just really good, but not that good. Yeah, so second best, I would put Torvald because his motors and shotgun are very strong, and his shrapnel grenade can put hit points on the monster, allowing for even more damage for those weak spots. Third best hunter, Parnell. Parnell does a lot of damage as well, but like I said before, he sometimes could be inconsistent. I don't know why. I don't know. I'm not sure why. Like, you'll do a ton of damage as him, and then like the next match, for some reason, you'll notice that you're not doing any damage. But that's very rare. I like to point out that it happens very rarely. It doesn't happen too often, which is a good thing. Now, it does happen quite often for me, with Hyde. It happens quite often. Like, I'll be doing a lot of damage with the flamethrower and the minigun, and then sometimes I'll be doing 0 damage. So I don't know. It does happen quite often for me. Like I said, for me, for Hyde. Maybe not for anybody else, but for me it does. But for Parnell, very rarely. But I have seen it happen a few times here and there. But nothing too much to complain about. But yeah, he's the third best assault in my opinion. Fourth best would be... I would say fourth best would be Markov. Markov is just like Blitz, but I think the difference between him and Blitz is that his Tesla gun has a longer range than Blitz Markov. For Blitz Markov, his Tesla gun is actually... It requires you to be a lot closer to the monster. And his is longer. Actually, it says it right there in the description. His test oh, never mind, it doesn't say it. I thought it was talking about his assault rifle. Yeah, oh, the most notable difference between the two is that Blitz Markov's damage will increase the longer it remains on the monster. If you notice, when shooting your Tesla gun, it starts to overheat. Not overheat, it starts to... The color of the Tesla starts to change from, like, I think white to orange. That's like the maximum damage it has. For Markov, it doesn't. It just stays blue or white the entire time. And actually, it says it right there too. The Tesla gun's damage increases the longer the beam remains unbroken. So yeah, I would put Markov as the next best one. His arc mines do a lot of damage as well. His lightning gun doesn't do that much damage. It doesn't do nearly as much damage as Blitz, but it's good enough. For the next one, I would put LENNOX. LENNOX, I think, does quite more damage than Hyde, but here's the thing. Oh, sorry, I was drinking some water. For LENNOX, she has a lot of damage output. She does. Her plasma lance does do quite a lot of damage. But the thing is, if the monster is focusing LENNOX, LENNOX can't reach her full potential in her plasma lance, because if she gets hit once, her plasma lance will reset. Like, there's steps in her plasma lance. Let's see. Yeah. With each successful hit, it increases damage. But if you get hit, it resets back to the like, I think there's 4 levels in the plasma lance. She can reach level 4 and do a ton of damage. But the thing is that the monster focuses LENNOX, it's gonna keep getting reset every time. So she's gonna remain at level 1. Now that's probably not bad, but she won't reach her full potential, and she can't do the most amount of damage that she's able to do. So that's what I think, you know, like that's what I believe. She's good, but the problem with her is that if she constantly gets hit, she'll be getting put down more and more and more. And who knows? I think people can manage being. I mean, I for sure can manage being at level 1 with her, but I'm just not gonna do as much damage as I want to. But it is what it is. The monster is focusing her. She's gonna have a hard time dealing damage to the monster. But that's what it is. For Hyde or Renegade Abe, I would do Hyde, just because Renegade Abe, I started using him a lot lately, and he's not as bad as I once thought he was. I used to think he was probably the worst assault I've ever seen, and because he has no damage. But I started using him more. I started practicing with him more. I started getting better with him, and I'm starting to see the potential. He's actually not as bad as I thought, but when it comes down to between Hyde or Renegade, I'm going to choose Hyde because Renegade Abe is extremely complicated to master. A lot of switching. You can't stay on a weapon for too long. You have to constantly be switching between his dart gun, his grenades, and his shotgun. You have to constantly be switching, and you have to constantly be using both modes on the shotgun. You can't just stay on one mode. He has double modes. You can do the full shotgun blast on controller. It's LT for the full shotgun blast. So instead of aiming down sight, it would do a bigger shotgun blast. And his other mode is just a regular shotgun where it does the multiple burst, but when you aim down sight, he actually does a single burst, but it does a lot of damage if it hits. The thing is, it doesn't have a long range, so you have to get a little bit closer to the monster for it, while the other one is longer. So yeah, his bigger shotgun blast has short range, while his regular one has a longer range. And that's what I think of Renegade. He's hard to master, but he has the potential. However, Hyde is just better, slightly better. His flamethrower does do damage. His minigun does do damage, but it's not that much compared to the other hunters, the other assaults. It's just not that much, in my opinion. He's fun to play as, but I wouldn't say that I wouldn't say he's great. He's just better than Renegade Abe. But yeah, moving on to Renegade Abe, as I said, everything before the shotgun, he requires a lot of switching. He is on the bottom, but after I used to, if I were to do this video like 2 months ago, I would have put him at the very, very bottom and say I would have said he's the worst hunter. Sorry for the stuttering, guys. I usually don't talk a lot, but if I were to make this video a few months back, I would say he's probably the worst assault ever. But like I said, after using him a lot, I would say he's better. He does do low damage, a lot of low damage, but you just have to practice a lot with him, and eventually you will be doing quite a bit of damage with him. But yeah, that's gonna be it for the assaults. To recap, let's mark off the top. Second, Torvald. Third, Parnell. Fourth, Markov. Fifth, Lennox. Sixth, Hyde, and then seventh, Renegade Abe. Yeah, pretty sure that's the order. So moving on to Trapper. Let's see, Trapper. Man, playing as these guys right here is a pain, especially this guy right here. This guy right here is a pain, man. But that repulsor, oof, man, drives me nuts. But to play against him is really annoying, but he is fun to play as. So the best Trapper, Oh, I didn't mention, for the buffs, Renegade could use a damage buff for sure. He could definitely use a buff in damage to make him better. That would definitely help. And for LENNOX, I would say a little bit of a damage buff in her level 1, but I don't think that's really needed, so maybe probably not. I really don't have much to say for LENNOX. For Torvald and everybody else, nothing much to say. Hyde could definitely use a damage buff. I see that. I think he needs one, in my opinion. I think he does need one. But everybody else is fine. I don't think anybody else needs buffs. So Trapper, my thoughts on the best Trapper in the game, I think would be Abe. Abe is extremely good. He's very good. His dart gun is amazing. You can literally track the monster all the time with his dart gun. You won't even need the planet scanner. Eventually the dart gun does run out, but if you shoot an animal with a dart and it starts tracking that animal, if the monster eats that animal, it would eat the tracking dart, and then he'll end up getting tracked by the dart gun, by Abe. And it's extremely good. So even if you don't get a dart in him, if you do shoot an animal with a dart and he does eat it, he'll get tracked. But not even just that, his stasis grenades for slowing the monster down, his shotgun for doing damage, dart gun for tracking the monster all the time. I mean, it's the perfect storm for Abe. He's got everything. It's amazing. He's actually also my favorite Trapper as well. And he's he's definitely the best in my opinion, as the best Trapper. I mean, if you see the monster, you can literally just shoot a dart from across the map and get him tracked. It's amazing. And the dart stays on for quite a while, so that's another bonus. For second best, I'm gonna go with Griffin. Actually, you know what? No, I'm gonna go with Crow. Now, the reason why I choose Crow as second best is because his kinetic long rifle does damage, and it does damage to the monster even when the monster has armor on. Yeah, it even says right there in the description, Crow's real trick, however, is charging a long rifle shot to bypass the monster's armor. If the monster has armor, he can still deal damage to the monster, which is awesome. And he has a stasis gun for slowing the monster down. Of course, he has his pet bat ray that can track the monster, but that's not... It's good, but if the monster is not in that direction, it's not going to see it, so it won't track it. But yeah, Crow still does a lot of damage, and he's a Trapper. But with that rifle, he does quite a bit of damage. This video is actually getting extended a little too long, so I'm gonna start hurrying this up. He's the second best, but like I said, this is my list. Anybody can make their own to decide. You just have to play around with them and see which one you like the most and which one you dislike. The third best would be Griffin. Griffin can harpoon the monster from so far, it's insane. Griffin can harpoon the monster from miles away. I mean, obviously that's an exaggeration, but he can harpoon him so far, and it's actually nuts. But the problem with Griffin is that if he's being focused, he's not going to be good at all. He's good. He's actually very, very good if you don't focus him. If you're not focusing him, he's extremely good. But if the monster is focusing him, he's not going to do well. He has nothing to defend himself except the SMG or the support and medic. And if the support and medic aren't good, then they're not going to be able to help him out, and he's just going to die. Fourth best would be Jack. Jack's repulsor can... If his repulsor is in the hands of a very, very good Trapper or a very good Jack player, this guy is deadly. And I mean deadly. I have said it in multiple streams that I hate playing as Jack, playing against Jack. I love playing as Jack. But I've said in multiple streams that I hate playing against them simply because of that repulsor. It's insane how annoying it is. It's so good. It can stop the monster for like 10 seconds. Literally 10 seconds, keeping him in his tracks. But his damage is not that noticeable. Let's see. 5th best hunter, I would say Electro Griffin. 6th one would be Wasteland Maggie, and then 7th would be Maggie. Electro Griffin does a lot of... Electro Griffin's SMG also has a stasis in it, which lasts about maybe 1 second, I believe, or 2 seconds. So it also does damage, and it also slows the monster down. His harpoon can deal damage as well, but it has a short range compared to regular Griffin, and it's very noticeable. And his sound spikes also have a really small range as well. Let me see. I think it actually said, yeah, within a small area. Within a small area, his sound spikes have a noticeably smaller range compared to regular Griffin. Yeah, and it even says it there too, within a large area. So that's what Electro Griffin is also good. I would say Wasteland Maggie over Maggie simply because Wasteland Maggie, I believe Wasteland Maggie does more damage than regular Maggie. But the thing is, Wasteland Maggie can only put 1 harpoon. Actually, I take it back. Right after Electro Griffin, we're gonna put Maggie. Maggie has multiple harpoons that she can place to slow the monster down. And she has regular Daisy that can revive players. And it actually comes in handy a lot. I have seen it happen before. Daisy has made a lot of clutch moves in arenas and in regular hunts. So I would say Maggie. The thing is, Wasteland Maggie does more damage with her gun, but Maggie just simply has like that support there, you know? Her harpoon traps help a lot, her Daisy does help a lot. Wasteland Daisy is good, but it has that flamethrower, but it doesn't revive hunters, so that sucks. But yeah, that's my list. Abe, the best. 2nd best, Crow. 3rd best, Griffin. 4th, Jack. 5th, Electro. 6th, Maggie, and 7th will be Wasteland Maggie. Medic. Medic, we're gonna do... I used to think Paladin Pornell is the best medic in the game, but I recently found a way to combat him. You know, like to, I recently found a little strategy to take him down when playing against him, so... But he's still very good. In the hands of a really good hunter, this guy's a beast. However, I think Slim is the best hunter in the game. I mean, not the... Let me rephrase that, sorry. The best medic in the game, not the best hunter. The best hunter in the game, I'm not entirely sure yet. You guys can decide that for yourselves. But I'm not sure who the best one is in the game yet. But for medic, Slim is the best medic. I mean, he's so tanky. He constantly heals. If this guy goes up against Behemoth, he's not gonna go down without a fight. I can tell you right now, Slim will not go down without a fight. He will dominate. Even if in the hands of a low ranked hunter that isn't that good, or a low ranked player that isn't that good, he will still dominate. I mean, if that person is hitting his shots with his leech gun, he's gonna keep healing and he's gonna keep healing and he won't go down. 2nd best, I would put Quantum Kyra, because I have seen a lot of good Quantum Kyra players and she's insanely strong, man. Her she can give everybody a defense matrix. Her AoE healing fields are very, very good. She also deals damage, believe it or not. She deals damage. I'm reading her description right now. Unlike other medics, she has no healing burst, so a well-positioned regeneration field combined with a well-timed proton field are the keys to success. She deals damage. Grenade launcher that leaves a stickable damage over time. Yeah. It doesn't say how much damage she does with it, but she does deal pretty decent amount of damage with that thing. Not a lot, because obviously she's a medic, but it's enough to get by. But man, Quantum Kyra is so good in this game. I have seen so many good players with this hunter. It's insane how strong she is. It's insane, man. Like, she's just so good. I mean, I have seen people survive for long periods of time as Quantum Kyra, even when she's the last hunter left. I have seen people survive with her so long because her regeneration fields are so large and she can make them longer by just throwing them out constantly. The key with Quantum Kyra is I wouldn't try throwing your regeneration fields in one spot. Try spreading them out, because you know, in one spot someone can easily walk out of it and then they won't get that heal because they're not in the field. But yeah, I would put her as second best simply because I have seen her dominate a lot, and it's actually crazy, you know. With for third one, I would put Paladin Parnell. He's very good. He's still very good. Just because I found a little bit of a strat to beat him, I'm not gonna mention it. I mean, I will. I actually already mentioned it. Never mind. I said it on stream, I believe. I don't remember which one, but I did mention the strat to beating Paladin Parnell. The thing is, you have to keep him constantly switching between his shotgun and rockets. That's what I believe is the key. If you keep getting him to shoot his shotgun to heal himself while you're damaging the hunter, it's gonna work out. And then when he switches to shotguns to heal them, then you attack him. Simple as that. You know, just keep alternating. If you can damage both him and other hunters at the same time, that would work. That's even better. But yeah, that's my strat. I've explained it much better in the stream. I'm not gonna go into much detail with it, but yeah, he's the third best medic. He is still very good, even if he's third. For fourth, would be Lazarus. Lazarus removing his only benefit and buff and pro is picking up people without strikes. That's his only benefit in my opinion. His heal burst is good, but it's just, I don't know. I don't see it too much happening. However, his sniper rifle does do weak spots on the monster, so that's a bonus as well. Let's see. So we got 1, 2, 3. So fifth one, I'm gonna go with Val, because Val, if paired with Hank, those two are insane. That's a powerhouse right there. If you have Val and Hank on the same team, that's gonna be a powerhouse right there. You got Val constantly healing, while Hank is constantly shielding. The key to beating them both is you have to go for one of them. I recommend going for Hank first, because if you go for Val, Hank will shield her, and then she'll also heal burst, and it's gonna take longer to bring her down. I would go for Hank because he can't shield himself. He does do the shield burst, but it's not a lot, and you can take it down pretty fast. But yeah, Val is still very good. I think she's better than Rogue Val, because Rogue Val does have a heal burst that literally brings back her entire health bar, but it does take a lot longer to come back, I think. So that sucks. And Val has her tranquilizer gun slows the monster down, which I think is much better than than Rogue's poison dart gun that does overtime damage. I think slowing the monster down is much better than overtime damage, especially for chasing the monster. I guess you would argue that the poison dart is better, but it's only better if you're fighting the monster. It's only better for fighting the monster, because I mean, it's no point in doing that when you're chasing a monster. I mean, there's no point in the poison dart gun when you're chasing the monster because it doesn't do enough damage. The tranquilizer gun slows the monster down when chasing it, and you can slow it down if you're fighting it in the dome, making it slower to catch. Especially when it's out of stamina, it's a lot better. But yeah, and the heal burst is there. Plus, her med gun has a way longer range than Rogue's gun. Just it does have a longer range, and I think it does do a lot more healing. However, the chain med gun actually, it's actually in the name. It chains from hunter to hunter to hunter. So if you're healing, let's say support, if the other hunters are close by, it's gonna go from support to trapper and then assault, healing them all at the same time. I don't know if it's healing all of them at the same time. I think it is healing all of them at the same time. I mean, why else would it chain from one to the other? So it does heal them all at the same time, but it's primarily healing the one that you're shooting it at, if I remember correctly. Yeah, it changes to nearby hard, but it heals the target over time. So it primarily heals the hunter that you're shooting at, but it also heals the other ones over time, just not as much. And next one I would do Emmett, because his healing buoys are very, very good. If you have a bunch of them laying around, especially if the hunter is down, if you have a healing buoy right next to them, you can pick them up while they're down, and it's very nice. His respawn beacon is good too. However, if the monster sees it in the sky and he knows where it's at, it's game over. He's gonna destroy it. His heal burst is good. Now here's the thing with Emmett paired with Bucket, that's a powerhouse right there, because Bucket can pop his ability, and then Emmett could just spam heal burst non-stop. The same goes for Val. Val and Bucket, oh my gosh, that's another good powerhouse right there. Bucket can just help Val spam her healing burst non-stop as well. There's a lot of good combos in this game. Emmett is good for that. His healing buoys are very nice. Spread them out, and they'll heal. The hunters don't have to be directly next to it, but if they're close enough, it will heal them. So that's good. And last but not least, Kyra. She's not bad, but she's just lower than everybody else. It's just that, like, she has to shoot her grenade launcher to get heals on. She's not like Quantum Kyra, where it has a field around it. So you don't have to, even if you miss your shot, as long as the hunter is in the field, you're healing them. And even if they're not in the field, they could just walk into it. With Kyra, if you miss your shots, you're not gonna heal. She doesn't have any fields around, so you have to nail your shots. You have to make sure you're hitting the hunters every time to get those heals in. So yeah, that's my list. To recap: Slim, Quantum Kyra, Paladin Parnell, Lazarus, Val, Rogue Val, and oh no. Let me try. Slim, Quantum Kyra, Paladin Parnell, Lazarus, Val, Rogue Val, Emmett, and Kyra. Yeah, that's the list right there. Slim, Quantum Kyra, Paladin Parnell, Lazarus, Val, Rogue Val, Emmett, and Kyra. Yep. And support. Let's go with support. I'm gonna be ending this video a little. It's starting to be a little too long, so I'm gonna do this quickly. Let's see. Best support, in my opinion, is Bucket. Sentry guns have an extremely long range. Mechanized recharge can give everybody's ability a second chance. And for heal burst, it just helps the medics spam their heal burst nonstop. Shield burst, very good, nice. And his missile launcher does reasonable damage. Second would be... I would put Kala as second best because I've seen a lot of people, really good players with Kala. She takes away the armor, also deals damage, and if the monster decides to go for her, they easily take the portal and leave. It's very nice. You guys can argue. I'm debating. I don't know if Kala is the second best. You guys, I'm just gonna say she is, but I'm not 100% sure on that, to be honest. I just know she's extremely good. However, no, I take it back. Second best is actually Hank. Hank has a really good shield projector. He actually supports the team very well, giving everybody shields non-stop, especially if a good player is using Hank. He could get his shields non-stop in, orbital barrage for extra damage, shield bursting, and he has a damage dealer. Third best would be Cabot. His railgun damage, it can also shoot through walls, so you can shoot it literally through walls to hit the monster. Damage amplifier for double damage, so that's good for the assault. The assault can do double his damage, and every other hunter as well. Sunny would be the next one. Grenade launcher, very nice. Jetpack booster helps hunters get out of trouble if they're getting targeted. The booster can help them get out quickly. Shield drone can also help the team out very nicely. The monster can easily take it out, but while the monster is trying to take it out, the hunters are dealing damage to the monster, so that's good. And if the monster doesn't focus the drone, it's just gonna end up giving everybody shields, so that's good. She also has shield burst. Fifth one I would put as Kala. Like I said, she's very nice with her abilities. I've seen a lot of great Kala players. And yeah, I mean, I've seen a lot of great Kala players. Like, even when the monster is stage 3 and is destroying the relay, Kala will come in, stop the monster from destroying it, and then she'll just bail again with her portal. And then if the monster goes back to relay, she'll just go back in her portal. She'll put a new one down and then go back and then stop the monster again. Next would be Tech Sergeant Hank. He's just as good as he's not good as Hank, but he's still pretty good. Orbital drill is nice. His shield burst is nice. His shield charger is good, but it's not as good as Hank's. And last but not least, Battle Cabot. So for Battle Cabot being the last one, sorry guys if I sounded a little bit out of breath earlier in the last 10 minutes. It's just that I've been talking for so long, my throat was starting to hurt, so I had to pause the video, take a little break. But yeah, I'm back. The reason for Battle Cabot being the last one is because his solar blast, I haven't seen it do as much damage at all, and I rarely see Battle Cabot players. I also rarely see that thing do damage at all. I never see anybody actually use it in a fight. His orbital concealment is pretty good, actually. It does make the hunters invisible, so that's a bonus. That's probably his best ability, actually. That's probably his best ability. His projected shield burst is good, but it's something that has to explode on impact. Like, it's literally something that he has to call in to bring it down. It's not something that he actually uses as an ability. It's a projectile that explodes. I'm pretty sure that it comes down from the sky and explodes on impact. So if you're not near it when it explodes, you're not gonna get a shield burst. But that could also be said for the regular shield burst abilities. If you're not near it, you're not gonna get it. But I don't know. I just think it's I just don't think Battle Cabot is a good support in my opinion. He doesn't really help the team out a lot at all, except for the shield burst and the orbital concealment. But then again, those are support abilities, so I guess it's okay, you know. I just don't think he's that good of a hunter. So yeah, that's my list. Bucket being the first one, I believe. Yeah, Bucket being top, and second I'm pretty sure was Hank. Third was Cabot. Fourth was Kala. Fifth was, I believe, Sunny. Then Tech Sergeant Hank and Battle Cabot. That's gonna be it for this tier list, guys. I hope you found this useful. I hope some tips that I give out there for combos, you know, hunter combos, and you know, a way of defeating Paladin Parnell if you do go up against him. I hope those type of tips were helpful for you. And yeah, I hope to see you guys in the next video. Remember to subscribe, like the video, join the channel, whatever you guys want. Even if you didn't like the video, you can dislike it if you want. I have no problem with that. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. As always, I'll see you guys in the next video. Take it easy. Peace.